feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome to your Nichols. I'm so happy to have you and to my Peter subscribers. Welcome, my little astronaut. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about our very first series of murder mystery. Although these both cases were closed, besides Linda Collins, I was asked by a subscriber who submitted it via my website, where you guys can submit your own questions and video requests there. And so she asked me to do this, and I thought it would be a really good topic to do. So stay tuned. It's going to be lots of fun. As you all know, in the middle of the video, we will have a very special chest with some crystals. You guys can do this and use to try to see what kind of crystals are in this deck for today's video. As you may be aware, I just bought this very new jersey. I'm not a sport fan, but I thought it looked hella cute, so I bought it. Anyway, let's start. Let's begin. We have a lot to get through today. I have all the information listed. Now, again, you guys are also the investigators just as well as me. So the first guy that we're going to be covering today is... Senator Jonathan Nichols. His age is 53. His job that he served in Oklahoma Senate for 12 years till 2012 because he was term limited. He died on June 5th, 2019. His political ideology was a Republican. He was found dead in his home. He died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, and there was no foul play related to his death. Who investigated this was the Norman police. The Norman, Oklahoma is where the murder took place. Well, suicide took place. How long would the investigator lasted? It lasted from June 5th at 8:45 p.m. to June 27, 2019. So it was a very small investigation. Of course, as we all noticed, she noticed that this was strange because both senators died days apart, 2 days exactly, I believe. We also have here as well, we have Senator Linda Collins Smith, and you guys can just go to the description or timestamp below. I'll put timestamps, so you guys may want to check out either both or interested. If you do like me to do this, I can do it again with someone else in the future and continue the series. So her age is 57. The job is the House of Representatives, and she was an Arkansas senator. She died on June 2nd, 2019, I think 3 days apart from the other guy. Political ideology, she was a Democrat from birth to 2011 and then switched Republican until her unfortunate death. Her status was divorced in 2018. She was found dead in Pocahontas, Arkansas. How she died was by gunshot wound after going missing in May, later found on June 4th. Investigator Randolph County Sheriff Kevin Bell, who was running a homicide investigation, arrested and charged longtime friend named Rebecca O'Donnell, who was charged with her murder. She used to handle her personal finances and motel business. The charge that they are charging O'Donnell with the death penalty. Remember, this is Arkansas. O'Donnell pleads not guilty on both charges of murder and have been charged with trying to hire a fellow in-jail inmate to kill Collins Smith's ex-husband and the prosecutor and the judge used to assign to the murder case. The trial resumed back in October, and the judge overseeing the case is Judge John Fogelman. What I found odd of all this was the fact that Fogelman took over the case late last year after 3 prior judges withdrew because of potential conflict of interest. So that is everything that you need to know for today's video. I gathered it all, try to, condense it in a way that you guys can understand it. Now, the reason why I'm covering this, and I think it's very important here, is the fact that a lot of this and what you're seeing right now is that if you look at it, it kind of feels like they're setting up O'Donnell. And so I want to kind of take a nice deep look and see if did she really commit the murder? Did she really murder her friend? Right? And or are they setting her up? Like, really, you're going to hire somebody? It kind of seemed a little too far-fetched to me, but anything is possible. So we will be exploring all avenues and the mindset and did they commit the murder or did they not? And the suicide is quite interesting as well. Leading up to Collins' death, she was investigating sex trafficking and getting very close in the investigation. And unfortunately, it ended when she died. So there's that as well. So in case you're wondering, there's that. So just putting out the disclaimers now so you guys are aware that if you guys are interested in booking a reading with me, you guys can check the description below if you are interested. This is indeed being live streamed on June 16th, 2021 at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you guys just want to do quick disclaimers, share some disclaimers. Please keep in mind it's just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. I am not a legal expert and therefore I am not a judge. Therefore, what I am telling you is just based on what I see and that's it. Disclaimer, all information I give during this recording is simply my intuition, my understanding, downloads information from the higher power. Please note that when I read tarot, my intuition will give the cards the meaning and not Google. Before I do any readings that I do have an opinion, but I will always let you guys know in advance. And therefore, I do have an opinion, so let's do some tarot. All right, so let's do that. All right, so you all know everything that's going on. I gave you background knowledge and stuff like that. Let's start with the first senator, and we're going to start with Jonathan. Right, is that his name? Yeah, Senator Jonathan Nichols. Let's start with him. He's the easiest, apparently. All right, well, it's so hard. Like, I can't even see that. Oh, my God. All right, so you guys can see this. You guys might need to read it more. While we're waiting, let's see what deck would best fit murder or self-suicide. Okay, let me just do what I do with one of my clients. All right, so let's take this. This would be good. It's going into the mind of the human body, understanding what is really going on in the mind. Let's talk about talking to heaven. Be aware, I did ask my guys to have them come through, so they may be channeling as well. They may be channeling through me or giving me a message or the information I need to know. We'll be using this called the Tarot of Sexual Magic because this is a really good deck, especially when talking about sex trafficking. We're going to be using this deck, which is a really dark deck. It's called Tarot Z, which I think murder is in cold blood, you know, stuff like that. Is there anything over here? Let's start with these, and let's just go from there, okay? So we have Talking to Heaven, we have the Dark Mirror that we're going to be using, and then we have Thought or Two. All right, let's start. Let's start by talking to them. Let's talk to Jonathan, Senator Jonathan Nichols. Let's take a look at that. What does she have to say? All right, so just to hypothetically, for Senator Jonathan Nichols, what message do you have to tell the viewers today about what happened when you passed away? Okay, thank you. That was quick. I was expecting like longer. Guys, I am new to this, so I hope that if you do leave, just let me know. I do hope I can be able to sound a little entertaining, hopefully. So Spirit saying, so tell me what is going on in the mind of Jonathan Nichols, Senator Jonathan Nichols. Okay, thank you. Okay. A lot. Okay. Dark. All right. All right, we're going to use these information, and then we're going to use the Tarot Z, which I think will be really interesting. I do hope you guys do like this series, though, because I think this will be really cool. It'll be like a different side of tarot that we don't really touch on often with the channel, and I would like to talk about stuff like this. Let me just burn some incense so we can have some incense going. Not a fire. Oh my God. Does anyone have marshmallows? But this thing is on fire. Okay, it's gone. All right, perfect. All right, let me try to get this out, and I feel so bad. So while you're waiting to not see my embarrassment, I'm just going to put an ad on. Hello, everyone. As you see on the screen right now, we have 34% of YouTube recommending our content. The best way for us to raise this number or bar higher is by subscribing, hitting the bell icon, and liking this video and sharing it with other people. And don't also forget to comment in the section below what you think of the video and its content. It will be extremely helpful for us getting other people to know all about our channel, what we do here. If you do love the channel, definitely try to help out as much as you could. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy the content. Bye. All right, so we're gonna use this. Okay, so Spirit saying, so tell me, what else do we need to know about Jonathan? What happened to Jonathan? Did he die? Look at this. You can kind of tell, right? Okay, thank you. Was he suicidal? Was Jonathan Nichols suicidal? Now, I really hope that this is more interesting than I anticipate, because as I'm seeing right now, it might not be as interesting as we had initially thought. Okay. All right, what happened to Jonathan Nichols? smells good. It smells like cinnamon. All right, anyway. Okay, so we have the two messages from Jonathan. We're going to kind of take a look afterward. And I'm going to remove this off the screen so that I'm sure you've seen it enough. All right, so we have a full screen, right? And if you guys do like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more content such as this. All right, so we have revenge, right? So he was clearly feeling some sense of revenge. So why would he want to commit suicide, right? It just doesn't make sense, right? And we had the child who I was meant to be. Now, this is another positive card, right? Feeling that you were meant to do what you were meant to do, right? Planting the seeds. Sowing the seeds. I've never seen the card before. Planting the seeds, right? The next one that came in was reverse, sacrifice. So no, this was not some sort of sacrifice. It was not a sacrificial lamb. There was no ritual that was involved. There was no satanic rituals. It does feel like it doesn't feel like someone was using it for like a god or to get rid of somebody. They weren't sacrificing somebody. Oh, we can just sacrifice for the team. That like that. It's not like that. We have here as well as we have the colorless angel. So this person was very colorful. I think maybe this person suffered from not being able to feel like they can show themselves. If this feels like as well, like this guy was able to show who he was at the same time, and maybe he was coming around to that point. So why would he want to end it? That's the thing I want to ask. Because look, we have revenge, the child that was meant to be, sacrifice in reverse, and we have colorless angel. And I do get in like a homosexual vibe from them. So it is telling me here that he is somebody who's on the pathway to self-acceptance. So why would somebody just want to commit suicide and end it right then and there? It just doesn't make sense. The story does not fit, right? Because the card that fell underneath the colorless angel we have here is, okay, self-explanatory. Now, I don't know specifically what this card means, because again, I use my intuition for this. And what I'm looking at here is that this was a hitman. This was done by a hitman. And he didn't have, again, like we've all been saying before, that it doesn't feel like as if he committed suicide. It feels like there was more than that, right? There was somebody here who had cold blood, somebody who's very angry, and they wanted to take him out by all means necessary. I would not be surprised if there were about 3 or 4 people involved. But then they were doing the dirty work. It kind of feels like the energy of Charles Manson, right? While bringing mental health concern to the forefront of discussion is a good thing. Yes, exactly, 100%. So if you guys ever need some sort of help, I'm happy to help you. But I would rather you talk to a professional, as I am not a professional, I'll tell you that. All right, he lived with his wife and his 2 kids. He was still in the closet. Who knows how that worked on his mental health? Exactly. There was, I don't like gay men who really like marry women and then know they're gay and do it, because it's not right to the women as well, but unless there was some sort of agreement. But anyway, this is not all about me, but it does feel like he may be closeted, like we were saying. He may be hiding something, like secret. Because we do have here as well, the challenge is the mental brain. Now that's why we talk about the mental illness, the mental capacity. Now I'm not saying mental illness as in a negative connotation. I'm saying it in a positive connotation. And it feels like as if maybe he has schizophrenia to some degree, and he may be hearing voices inside his head, which could be his ego. And I'll be talking about that more in depth about schizophrenia and stuff like that as well. And it does feel like it's not like mental illness like as the one that we see today. There's some other form of mental illness, something that we haven't heard about yet. We have here as well the message that he gave. The first message on the left was, "My death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt." Yes, that makes a lot of sense. He was shot by a gun, or he shot himself with a gun. So normally when you use a gun, it's a very painless and very quick death, which is why a lot of criminals or a lot of people choose that as their method of suicide. We have here as well, "I'm surrounded by loving animals." So they are surrounded by love. It does feel like he was supposed to be there to push a movement, to push an idea, understanding. So let's kind of get more of an in-depth reading. I'm going to use my personalized cards for this and kind of see what other information that we can grab. All right. What do you guys think of this so far? I'm surprised. I guess there's not a lot of people getting notified anymore. There's only like 5 people here. All right, so Spirits and Angels, tell me what else do we need to know about Journalist Nichols, Senator Journalist Nichols. Did he commit suicide? What happened around his death? Can you give us information? Okay. Thank you. That was a lot. Too many, I'll tell you that. But, okay. Let's leave that here. Okay, so there's a lot of reversals here. I hope you guys can see all this. So we have alien. So this is not done by a foreigner. So this person isn't from another country. There's someone in the United States who did this. So if you're wondering who the criminal is or the person who has perpetrated the crime, now again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. What we have here is we have confusion. So there is some sense of confusion. I do feel like a lot of investigators were confused and they didn't pick up on the clues that this was staged. It feels like the crime scene looks like it was staged based on what I am seeing and the information I've been given so far. We have here, this person was not a female. This person lacked feminine energy. This person who went out of control, who killed him or potentially hypothetically killed him, may have been someone with a lot of masculine energy, maybe a lot of fire in this chart, right? We have here that the door is open. So it's right there in the open. We know exactly who they are, or they may have an idea who this person or individual is. It does feel like this person's in the open and they're not hiding. So the way to know exactly who did this is simple. People who create things, no matter what it is, whether it's murder or not murder, hi Greta, they would do anything to see the crime or see what they've done. You know, think about it like a project, right? When you have a project, you're so excited to see it, you know, how it's the final result. Same thing, except with your murderer. Right, so the person who showed up to the funeral is one of them is the killer. Right, one of them is the killer. I don't believe, based on what I'm seeing here, that the person committed suicide willingly. We have here caution, storm in reverse. So caution, a hitman, he's a man, right? Now, guys, listen, you need to also know one thing. I am openly, and I'm going to read the card straightforward. This could also mean a Democrat as well. Okay? We must be open to all possibilities. Just because you don't like a Republican doesn't mean it's not out of possibility. Anything and everything is a possibility, right? We must consider them all. There are good Democrats, there are good Republicans. We must understand that together. We have here the open door. We have a young male. So this is probably going to be a young male, right? So whoever killed her could be a young male, someone who may have been jealous of this individual. We have here the truth falls right on top of the colorless angel and the hitman, right? Coming in, someone trying to take him out. The truth is reversed. So what we've been told is not true, right? And we have here, it's not going to crack, so it will never come public. People will never know what really happened. They will assume what happened is whatever the police had told them. Right? But then there is a tower moment. There's a striking moment. And the striking, what does the strike stand for, Spirit Angel? Tell me. What does the strike stand for? What does that mean? Does that mean more information or evidence going to be found about what happened to Jonathan Nichols, the senator of Oklahoma, when he supposedly committed murder? Well, he supposedly committed suicide. Excuse me. We have here mankind in reverse. So this person was not kind. We have here, oh, yeah, definitely, Rib. We have here one individual. So this is a one person job, right? And we have here, this person going to be in the history book. I do feel like this person may be like a secretary or somebody who worked for another political power figure. There could also be someone who worked for the church. Whatever it is, he must be going against something because it does feel like he would have threatened somebody who's in a position of power. Maybe he was investigating something. And then we have here, what's it called? A color. Maybe the color isn't just that he was a homosexual and he was closeted. Maybe it potentially could mean that maybe he was getting more colors, more information in retrospect to what he was looking into. Right? And here he had to surrender because his life was given up. Right? And we have here, no fun. We have here balance, right? Balance. Then we have here this person is not in jail, right? Because they ruled it out as a suicide. He was able to get medical help, but was refused in some degree. Didn't win. His health went down, and yeah. So it could either be like somebody who isn't known by the U.S. government or isn't registered, right? This person does feel like they're in hiding. So this person is hiding, right? They could be both genders too. They could be both simultaneously. Interesting. They could be dressed up by another gender, not transgender. That's different. I'm talking about, when people try to disguise themselves from getting in trouble by the police or trying to be found, so to speak. When people don't want to be found, they would do whatever it takes to not be found. In this case, this person did not want to be found. So what do you guys feel about this so far? What do you guys think about this? That's while I am trying to move fast enough so that you guys can enjoy good content. All right. Hopefully we can. Okay, this is how I literally shuffle nowadays. Put them randomly. Transvestite as opposed to transgender. Not definitely transvestite. I think transvestite is the wrong terminology to use, as it's very it's a very negative connotation to it. I would definitely prefer to use somebody who likes to disguise as another gender in a way of trying to stay on the ground or trying to not be found, basically. This person is not identified that particular gender. Someone who's transgender, they would they identify as the gender which they dress as. This person does not feel that way. The person who committed the crime, but supposedly based on what I see. All right. Okay, so we're gonna also cover about the lady now and try to find out what other information she has and why there's a connection and potentially why the murders were only 2 or 3 days apart. And if there's any connection, we'll do that at the end of the video. And then we're gonna find out what was Senator Linda Collins finding in terms of the sex trafficking investigation, and this may involve Matt Gaetz. So let's see. We'll find it out in a moment. I hope you guys like this. It's a little bit different than a political one. Yes, it's political in a sense, but it's not. So I hope this is like a nice little criminology break for you guys. All right. I wish I could play some music, but I can't because otherwise I get hit with charges. All right. Let me just add it in the back because this is taking too long. I'd lose patience. All right. So let's see. So Spears and Angel, tell me what else. Do we need to keep covering Jonathan? All right. So they tell me I can move on. So I'm going to put him back up right now on the screen so you can see. We are now going to be covering Senator Linda Collins Smith. Oh, I've been calling her wrong name. Oopsie. Just a reminder, she was murdered, right? And the authorities arrested Rebecca O'Donnell. Oop, I almost said Oswald. Definitely not the case. All right, so here is a lot of information. How she died: gunshot wound by gunman missing in May, later found on June 4th. Investigator Randolph County Sheriff Kevin Bell, who was running the homicide investigation. Rebecca O'Donnell, who was charged with her murder. She used to handle her personal finances and motel business. The charge that they want to charge O'Donnell with the death penalty. O'Donnell pleads not guilty on both charges of murder and have been charged with trying to hire a fellow jail inmate to kill Colin Smith's ex-husband, and the prosecutor and the judge she used to be assigned to the murder case. The trial was doomed in October. The judge overseeing the case is Judge John Fogelman. And the odd thing about this case, besides many other things, was Fogelman took over the case late last year after 3 prior judges withdrew because of potential conflict of interest. And I would like to find out what other potential conflict of interest as well. So I'm going to take this off the screen so you guys can kind of see me do some tour. It is. It really is. It really is nice. It's politics, but it's not at the same time. Right. I completely agree with you. At the time of her murder, Colin Smith was operating a hotel and not in the state senate. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Colin Smith's ex-husband was a judge. Thank you. That's good information. That is good information. Thank you. All right. Interesting. So this makes this a lot more complex than I initially had anticipated. But right before we do jump into Colin, we're going to do the little chess thing so you guys can figure out what kind of crystals are in the chest right now. I'll give you a moment. You can pause the video if you need more time. Okay. So first you have to guess how many crystals there are in this in the chest, what type of crystals, what color they are, and stuff like that. If you get them all right, your intuition good. If not, you can always work on them. I will always do little exercises for you. All right, so for the first crystal that we have here is we have black tourmaline. So if you guys got that right, congratulations. Or you got black. Good job. Or if you got tiger's eye, or you got like brown, gold, or something related to that, which is tiger's eye. So congratulations, if you got 2 crystals, you are correct. All right, so that is the little message for today. So that is a little 2 crystals. Let's jump in. Let's talk about Linda Collins Smith, the senator of Arkansas. So let's see. So Spirit and Angel Tommy. We're not going to use this because she doesn't have. We're not going to go into her mind, at least not in the way with the dark side of it. All right, so let's see what she has to say. Let's do talking to Kevin. Have you guys been getting notified lately? Because, I don't know. It's an odd. Lately, my lives have only been like 5 or 10 people total. I agree, Julie. Okay, so Spirit and Angel Tommy. What does Linda Collins Smith want to say about everything that happened, including her murder that took place in Arkansas and Pocahontas? What would she like to say to us about what happened? Okay, thank you. They seem to be more positive, I'll tell you that. And then, of course, we have I'm Surrounded by Loving Animals again. So that's interesting as that came out twice, and that was the bottom of the deck. So they must be better now. So, I mean, sure, this is cool. All right, anyway, let's jump back in. Let's jump back into the murder side of it. All right, so Spirit Angel Tommy, please tell me about what happened to Linda Collins Smith, Senator Linda Collins Smith of Arkansas, and why she was murdered. Oh, okay. Okay. One more thing. Oh. Okay, that's bad. That's dark. That's dark as shit. Okay. Okay. This is a lot darker than I anticipated. Well, I mean, that's a murder. That's what happened when you have a murder. So, let's see. All right, so let's see. Because she was investigating sex trafficking. So, that was the last thing that she was doing in terms of investigation. So, let's see. Does this have to do anything? Does this murder that happened to Linda Collins Smith have anything to do with sex trafficking? Okay, that was a lot and not the whole deck. We don't need the whole deck. All right. Does this have to do with sex trafficking for her murder? I really wish there were a lot more people. I thought this would be really interesting for people. I guess not. Thank you for all of you guys who showed up. Okay, where is it? Okay. Now, this is inappropriate, so I won't be showing you the cards. Well, actually, no, it's 18 or older. You know, if you have children, probably cover your eyes. I'll let you know in advance. All right, so let's see what else that we can do. It's not graphic, but it's a little graphic. All right, so Spirit Angel, what else do we need? Okay, that was on May, so let's put it back in. What happened to Linda Collins Smith with her murder? Now, she was a Democrat who turned Republican when Mitt Romney was running, at least around now. Okay. All right, perfect. That's good enough. All right. Are you guys ready? So we have here, I am so much better now, right? This is what she's saying. This is what she wants us to know. So maybe having a lot better or something like that. We have here as the main source of the reading is 6. Her life was taken away and it was very sad. Very dark, gloomy. No one's on the boat. There's no stores here. Just dark, gloomy, an abandoned island. Right? Left for dead, basically. Dark energy. What crosses this is someone coming at her. It's a male. Right? Rebecca O'Donnell is a female. Right? But it's the male. It goes sideways. It was sideways, right? Yeah. And here it is, someone coming in, and this person's very angry. They have hate and anger. The card that came out after was the Tower card. right? I do not think that this was a one-person job. I do not think this was a one-person job. I think if this was Rebecca O'Donnell, this would be her, and that she played a major role, kind of like what we saw in 9/11, kind of that kind of anger. And it feels like as if she was paid or hired by somebody to do this, but why was she doing it? Now, this could be anybody at this point. This cannot be her specifically. We have here above hers, we have one, right? The one of Pentacles, right? There was some sort of murder that her case is tied to someone else's murder. I would not be surprised if maybe that she may have been involved in a murder case and that this was revenge by somebody else who was unhappy, maybe potentially with the judge that she married in the past, and that they decided to what's it called, do that. Colin Smith introduced a bill banning transgender people from public restrooms. Thank you, Julie. That's interesting. And then we have here Collins was married to Phyllis Smith, a circuit judge who was disgraced after 2017 scandal. Interesting. We have here above, we have crossing this boat right here, the Six of Swords. We have crossing is the Queen of Wands, right? We have here is the Eight of Pentacles, I think that's what it is. Eight of Pentacles. Then it's upright. We have here as well as we have the Star card. All right, so this is what I know what this is. This is what this is. So what ended up happening, it is giving me a time frame of what happened with the murder and how it was persisted. I believe there were two people there present in the murder. There were two people there. We have the Queen of Wands here, right? So cover your children's eyes. If they're washing, I'll give you a moment right now. We have sideways. We have here someone washing, right? So it does feel as if maybe she was being seduced by this individual, this male, who she didn't know. And that was her way, this woman's way of trying to get to her to murder her. Right? So I would not be surprised if there was a two-party play here. Now, this could also mean that this individual could be somebody who just really wanted her in another way. I don't know, maybe like necrophilia, I think that's what it's called, like doing it with a corpse. Then another card here is also the same direction here is we have the Knives of Pentacles and cover your children's eyes once again. What is this card? Drugging people and basically using them without consent, basically, right? So I would not be surprised if this individual is somebody who's very dark, very energetically negative. We have here is that her being drugged. So if you're wondering how she was murdered, this is basically what it's telling me now. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I am not an investigator. It does feel like she was murdered in some particular way. She was, I feel like with this guy here as well, this individual here, may have been dating the person who tried to kill her, right? Because we have here, maybe she had sorry about to warn you, but yeah. She was trying to have a sexual relationship. I do feel like maybe they were dating, they were in a romantic relationship, and maybe she got a little too jealous and something must have happened, maybe with a three-way, who knows. At this point, we have Lost card, right? Lost in reverse. So it feels like maybe she was fighting, but she kind of gave up. Like she didn't really know what was happening, or maybe she didn't know that this woman was in love with him, or whatever it is. Something must have happened. Regardless, we have here sideways. We have both Democrat, Republican, third party. It's had nothing to do with the election. It had nothing to do with the election. So I don't see any outside forces coming in trying to do what they were doing to her. I don't feel anything stuck trafficking related in terms of her going after it. It does feel like maybe this person may have been somebody she was hooking up with, and apparently maybe someone got jealous and killed her, or potentially that the person that she was hooking up with was friends with the person who was trying to kill her, and they teamed up, so to speak, right? And then the card that we have here, the whole collection of cards here, is we have Stop, Money, Fall. So stop the money from falling. Maybe there was some sort of money here. Maybe there was some sort of money trend There was something here. Maybe they were trying to get money or trying to get rid of her so she wouldn't follow the money trail. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe it had nothing to do with sex trafficking, but maybe it had to do with the money trail. Corruption, maybe. On the card here is we have happiness. So in this fold right on the side of the tower card, was telling me this individual who committed a crime is very happy that it took place. Julie, according to the Collins son, O'Donnell constantly stole money from her and snapped when she was confronted about it. Interesting. On June 4th, 2019, Collins' father and son found her body outside of her home in Pocahontas. She had died of a stab wound, initially reported as a gunshot wound. Oh, okay. Thank you, Julie, for that extra info. This info was from Wikipedia, but I thought the initial reports indicated the body was found in the house, not outside. It was found out in the house. That's what I got in terms of my report. Interesting. So I'm wondering why are the information not the same now? Now that you have said that, why is the information not consistent? What would mean you have seen? That's why I like you guys, because I always want you guys to investigate everything with me so that we can bounce ideas and be like, oh, this doesn't feel right. So listen, if you see a topic that I'm doing and you like it and you want to investigate, feel free. It's always more helpful for me as well because I try to do blind readings, really. I try not to have any sort of biased opinion so you guys get accurate information. What else do we need to know, Spirit Angel? Tell me about this. Why is information that we're seeing here not being consistent with one another about the death of Linda Collins Smith, the senator of Arkansas, who was murdered? Okay, let's see. So we have here two cards that fall on the boat, the six of swords, crossed by the Queen of Wands, and we have here is, all right, so this is what this is. All right, so we have two males. It's a two male, two female job. So again, it could be why I got a female and a male. I do believe it's both genders here. Both genders have participated in this. Their job wasn't to kill her, though. They wanted to hold her hostage against the U.S., so this could be someone maybe they were a double agent or a double spy in some degree. We have here Congress, which is interesting why Congress is here, because she was a representative. She was a state representative, just so you know, and she was a Democrat and a Republican. She was married to a Supreme Court judge. We have here the divorce, right? Excuse me. We have here somebody who's in jail, somebody who's in a high position of power. What could tell me here is that this person who may have committed a crime may have been part of the system itself. That maybe that's why they may have gotten the wrong individual, because it feels like this person is trying to cover the track, because maybe this person is maybe a police chief, maybe this person is something, kind of like Dexter, kind of making sure that they cannot follow the track because you're in the system, therefore you can clean the system. We have the eventually information going to come out. Right now, information going to come out in the light soon. And no. Something no here. And I forgot what the question I was asking. So if someone can repeat the question I was specifically asking about this and why I got to know, I would like to know. So no, the information is not consistent. I think that was the question I asked. So no, the information that's telling me here is not consistent, but what it gave me so far is quite consistent with what we got so far. The Wikipedia entry is full of mistakes. It had Colin being murdered on June 14th and found on June 4th. Yeah, don't do Wikipedia. I didn't get my information from Wikipedia. I got it from like actual news sources. Because I just said that the person is in a position of power, so they're manipulating it in some way. So they're trying to clean the act together a little bit. Because that's an odd thing to get wrong. All right, let's see. So let's talk about Rebecca O'Donnell, who was the one who was arrested by authorities for potentially killing Linda Collins. Let's see. Because I feel like she was framed to some degree, but based on what I'm getting here, I'm not sure of anymore. All right, so Spirit Angel, tell me, did Rebecca O'Donnell murder Linda Collins Smith, the senator of Arkansas? Okay, we have one yes card. Okay, that was too many, so put that back in. Just put it in. All right, so, okay. We have a no card with a yes card, so maybe. Do we have, what is going on? Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Entertainment purposes only. Yeah, it seemed like they were sloppy. We have the high priestess, so this is the yes card, right? Automatically. We have the law card. This is kind of like a funeral card, right? And we have here is information. So she worked as a secretary for Linda, right? Interesting. This is kind of like a maybe. Then we have here on the right, we have money. Then we have yes. So she was in it, but I do feel like she was in it for the money. Exactly like you said, she wanted money. And so yes, I do believe they got her, but I think they're missing one individual, and that's the male. That's what I'm getting from this. And I just want to top it off with why these two people connected and stuff like that, and then we'll end it. Okay. We have here the Republican Party. That's why they're two both connected. They were both fighting for something. I don't know what they were fighting for, though. But we have here the Empress card. They were fighting over women, potentially. Maybe Jonathan maybe they were friends or something. They were fighting over a death of somebody who was supposed to die. Maybe they were, I don't know. This is weird. Okay, maybe this individual, because we have a male here, the Justice card, we have the Empress card. So they were fighting with one another about how to kill somebody and get away with murder using corruption. Yeah, that's what this is. All right, so we have here male, female, right? The Justice card, we have the Empress card, fighting with one another, fighting both individuals, both fighting Jonathan Nichols, both fighting Linda Collins Smith, right? But this is also Rebecca O'Donnell, and this is also this mysterious male who works with her. They were killing them, both of them. We have here, they use corruption or loopholes. We have here as well, this person was trying to plan, so this is premeditated murder for both. This is their connection. And we have here the Lovers card in reverse, which tell me these two people were a bad union. They just happened to be a coincidence. They did not know each other personally. But it does feel like maybe they were talking online. Maybe they had an online thing going. Right? We won't really know about it. So it's interesting. It's interesting how this plays out. I mean, that was what I'm getting with the connection here. Not really that much. I was really expecting something more like interesting. Not saying this wasn't interesting, but it's good for most, probably for the first video. So if you guys want me to continue the series or you have a request, just put it in the description and I'll show you right now how you can do that. Sorry, wrong one. Have you ever wondered how you can submit your own questions or reviews, whatever video recommendation, or you feel like I'm not responding back to your messages because particularly it may have been getting buried in YouTube comment section? Well, do not worry, I have a solution for you. So go to my most recent video and you will find here, just say for example, this video, right? The evidence, and you go to the description and you hit right here, submit your question and topic or video request here. You click on that and it'll take you to my website where you can find tons of different things. You can even donate to India for the help with COVID-19. You can book a reading with me. This is my website. You will go to my YouTube channel and hit submit your video request here. It will take you to a Google form and you guys can fill out all your questions here. And you could type in your question. Whatever. I'm going to return you back to your content and I hope you guys enjoy it. I just wanted to let you guys know of a brand new feature I included on my channel. And we have here Julie commented, the most murder, rapes, and child sex abuse happen from perpetrators that are unknown to the victim. I completely agree with you 100%. And with that, we're going to leave it off. Again, let me know in the comment section below if you do enjoy this content. And I love you guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and the bell icon. I'm sorry it may not be as interesting as we all initially had hoped. But, nonetheless, it was quite a fun thing. I'm looking forward to continuing the series if you so wish for me to do so. Anyway, don't forget to check out my other videos, and don't forget to check out my live tonight at midnight. But I probably will cancel it only because we had a poor showing, and also that you guys aren't probably being received notification. So I expect a brand new video to come out tomorrow night. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. I love you.